Shalom Israel, this is your brother Ben Sedek, Ben Torah, and today I am going to touch on a topic which is known as Yaakov I have loved and Esau I have hated. This is taken from Malachi chapter 1 verse 1 to 3. And let's read what it says from the word. The message of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said Yahweh, but you ask, in what way have we loved you? Have you loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, declares Yahweh, and I have loved Jacob, but I have hated Esau. This is also quoted in Romans 9, verse 13. The question is, did the Almighty hate Esau as many people teaches? What does the word hate mean in this context? Well, let's look at it. The word hate is taken from the Hebrew word seneh. This is fine. You could find this in the concordance number 8130, which simply means enemy, and also in concordance 7852, which means oppose self or against enemy. Now, so the question is, let's look at the context. What was he saying here? If you remember, he called Abraham, he blessed him with Yitzhak, Isaac, and then Jacob. Jacob's name later was changed to Israel. Okay? So what was happening here? Yitzhak had two sons, as you remember, Jacob and Esau. They were both Hebrew. Remember, they were both Hebrew. Why? Because Abraham was the Hebrew who crossed over an Hebrew from the Euphrates, and all of his seed is genetic are automatically going to be Hebrew, because what? In the scripture, a child takes on whatever the father is. So the bloodline goes from Abraham to Yitzhak and to Jacob. Why? Because Abraham, the Hebrew, produced Yitzhak, who was also a Hebrew, and he himself produces Jacob, and Esau. So Yitzhak was a Hebrew. That means his sons, not just one, but both his sons, Jacob and Esau, were also Hebrews. Now let's look at this. Jacob was the chosen one that the bloodline will continue through Yitzhak. Why? If you look, you'll see this in Genesis 28, where Yitzhak passed on his blessing to Jacob, not Esau. So in that context, Jacob was loved or chosen, while Esau was, based upon the Hebrew meaning seneh, he was rejected as an enemy. He was opposed. He was not the chosen one. So the word seneh, hate, in that context means he was not the chosen one. Look at the context. If you look at the word loved, Loved, it's in the past tense. He was talking about the covenant that he made back then. He said, I have loved, not love, but loved Jacob, and I have hated, past tense, hated, not hate, hated Esau, meaning he had chosen from way back then Jacob as the covenant people, and back then, past tense, hated, he had rejected Esau. Now, why this is important? There are many people who are erroneously teaching that Esau is the Caucasian. Is that historically accurate or scriptural? Well, let's look at it. In Bereshit, or Genesis 10, it gives us the table of nations. We see Noah having three sons, which were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. If you look at Japheth, or known as Japheth, his bloodline went up into what is known as today Europe/Asia. So they are the European/Asiatic people. They are not Hebrew. Hebrews are different from European people. Now let's look at it also. Remember, if they're calling the Caucasian Esau, they're actually calling the Caucasian Hebrew. And the Caucasians are not Hebrew based upon the table of nations. So that's an oxymoron. Now, concerning hate, when people think that the Almighty hate, like despite, and just like what people think that the Almighty hates Esau, it's not what they think, because in First John 4, it tells us plainly that First John 4, verse 8, it tells us that Yah is love. Now, how can he be love and telling people to hate people? It doesn't make any sense. Now, if we look at Deuteronomy or Devarim 23, verse 7, it says, do not abhor. The word abhor means hate. Do not hate an Edomite, for he is your brother. Think about that. Why will the Almighty hate Esau and then telling his people, don't hate Esau? Doesn't make any sense. Once again, it's context. It's a difference between reading and studying. When one study, they try to get meaning, they look at context, they cross all their T's, dot all their I's, they look at historic, linguistic, whatever it takes, and they put it all together. They just don't take one verse or two verses and run with it. You have to look at it in context. Okay? So remember, the Almighty doesn't hate Esau as people think the word hate means. It just means that he rejected him as the chosen people and had chosen Jacob as the chosen people. Okay, do your own research, do your own study. This is not for everyone because there are people who have their biases, there are people who have their hatred because of years of anger and oppression, which we understand, but we cannot change the word of Yah to fit our situation. The word is what it is. You know, it must be undiluted. So once again, this is your brother Ben Sedek Ben Torah, and just keep studying, pray, and remember, whosoever have an ear to hear, let them hear. In other words, not everybody who have a physical ear, who have physical ears, could hear spiritual messages. So if you have an ear, you will hear. Seek wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Chakma, dahat, and tabun. May Yahweh bless you in your guidance and your search. Shalom.